And I guess we're back in civilization for once.
Yeah, no, we're not in the Appalachian Woods anymore. So,
Mm. Different continent, though.
well, only one of us is in a different continent now. So, yeah,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
Soon I will be back, like Schwarzenegger. Okay, so welcome to Rainbow Flickers, and we're gonna be talking about the penultimate episode of season 3 of From, and what an episode that was. Mm.
Yeah, this episode, I feel like it really provided a lot of answers. I know some people are saying that they don't know, they still don't know what's going on. From hasn't given them any answers, but I mean, I feel like they're kind of laying it all out for you, to be
Uh,
honest.
I think there's a lot of people who complain saying there's nothing's happening, and the people who watch shows while watching their phone at the same time, and they're completely missing the point of the show.
Yes, I feel that way. This episode was pretty action packed. There was a lot going on. Like the thread started to unravel. Like we started to see more. There was a lot about
Mhm.
duality in this show, like pairs of two. So
Mhm.
hmm.
Pairs of two, plus we're starting to see also cracks in the groups as well as actually secrets. Boyd, for example, just hiding to his son that he's ill. Actually, I don't remember them mentioning he was actually ill in the show. I don't know. I might have missed that or I've forgotten about it. But the fact they mention it there might be important for later.
Yeah, they mentioned it a few times in the first season that he had Parkinson's and he was trying to
Oh,
hide it.
mm. So that's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen. We're having Elgin. Oh, it's creepy. At least in the wood there was no trucks. There was wolf, but no trucks.
Well, yeah, Elgin was pretty creepy. And he just, I don't know if he feels like he's doing the right thing or, but what you said, his shirt, he's the Raven, alluding to the bad guy, if you
Mm.
will. And so, what is your thoughts about what's going on in this so far with this episode?
Okay, so uh, before we talk about the ending, because the ending is the thing that's gonna
Well, I mean,
pretty
I know we're
much.
not talking about the ending, but this episode is kind of
They
throwing
were
in a lot of like, and the last episode they kind of throw in like time loops and duality here. So
yes.
do you think like in this episode, like we see, for example, we see Jade seeing Christopher, we see we hear Jim getting a phone call from his son. We just see how this, yeah, these weird things, but it's all about duality and people being connected. And then, in the beginning of this episode, they go out to search for Fatima, and they do
uh,
it in pairs of two.
uh,
And this is when the town finally rallies together, kind of how they did to, I guess, unalive Smiley, you know?
uh,
So we see a lot of this back. It's kind of like a cycle. And I feel like that's really important to mention here because I feel like cycles is very important to this story. There's a lot where it seems to be repeating and repeating until there's something that's broken or something that's
mhm.
completed. So we see a lot of it alluding to that in the beginning of this episode and through the episode.
Yeah, we got, for example, the talk between Victor and the boy in white, who actually talk about when he actually say, "Oh, I'm the reason why my mom died, so I'm going to destroy the tree," and actually the boy's white said, "No, don't do it. The tree is important," which was what was said to Christopher when actually that happened when actually Victor was a kid. So there is all like, going to circles. The duality definitely. Um, yes, a lot of duality. And if you think about it, trees are very important, and trees actually are circular. they got different rings in trees. So it's just
Uh-huh.
again the circle, the trees actually open to the rings. So there's a time travel, which actually we finally know who threw the rope.
About time.
Hmm.
But yeah, we learned who threw the rope. Shocker alert, it was Julie, but it was a future Julie or
It
past
was a
Julie? I
future,
don't
It was
future?
a future Jolly, it seemed that
Yeah.
actually went to the past. So we actually got all this thing. When we know now it's a time, I guess it's a time travel. Is it now?
I don't think I feel like it's not time travel. I feel like like I told you. I feel like it's a loop being played over and over and over until maybe death is one way out, as we've seen. Hint, hint, alluding to the end of the episode, but
Or not? Because I got
or
my
not
theory for
because
that.
we yes we haven't seen the next episode, but
Hmm.
like when we talk about things like reincarnation is another big thing that has come up here, especially when people keep coming to Fromville, like Tilly, for
Hmm.
example, who said that she has been there before, or she felt like she had been there before, or so she wasn't like afraid or anything. And I know a lot of you on the internet were talking about like Tilly had been there when she was like younger, and that she's going to be one of the main villains. Well, spoiler alert, she's not.
No,
Or
she
so
died.
or so that we don't really know yet, because we still don't really know what happens to people in Fromville when they die. Do they really die? I mean, legit don't know.
Uh,
but
I
but
think I think the
for
answer. Go ahead.
but well, Victor was saying time and time again to Jade that you act just like Christopher, the guy that was here before, you act like Christopher. And who is Jade seeing now?
Christopher.
Christopher. Yeah,
And Jasper.
that's true.
Jasper, who is actually a ventriloquist dummy, and we have a lot of actually mention of voices. Also,
Yeah.
we don't know the
Sarah,
voices, the babies, the voices on telephone, the voices they can hear basically in their head.
yeah. Sarah started to hear voices again. Now that you brought that up, yeah, Sarah started to hear voices again. And basically, what they told her to tell them is like, hey, Fatima's close by, but you'll never find her in time. And they want you to know that they're laughing at you.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just like I feel like they really like season 3 is really opening things up to actually like a new everything gonna be sped up. That's what I feel. They actually some people have been complaining that season 3 was very slow because we had a lot of exposition. They were putting like pieces on a chessboard. That's the way I'm looking at it, like putting relation, putting some beginning of antagonism between people, like for example the blonde girl and Boyd, for example, putting secret in
Acosta.
place. Acosta,
Acosta.
yes,
I was like,
Acosta,
okay.
putting the secrets because I doubt that Tilly's death not gonna come back and bite them in the ass because right now they decided not to tell no one what happened to Tilly, but it's gonna come back. He has to come back, and that would actually create destruction. Acosta doesn't trust anyone in that place, and yet she
Mhm.
actually that sense of duty. So I can actually see it already. They are setting up some confrontation going on later on, maybe. And a little side, there's one thing I wish they would do, at least maybe in the last two seasons, is one episode, please, one episode with Victor as a kid. I just want to know what happened to him because one of the sentence the guys, I think Jade said, which was actually, you think that your kid is broken, your son is broken, but he's just a produce of what happened to him there. But
Yeah,
we don't really know what happened.
yeah, because he's basically telling him like, "Hey, Victor's Tarzan, and you're the Englishman that basically comes in to tell him." you know.
He's, he survived for a decade on his own. Apparently, he survived for a decade on his own. That's what they
Mhm.
say. He was there before the other one was there. So what happened to him? We know that the boy in white was actually his only friends. That's what he said. You were my only friends. So how did he survive? Because this monster that are there, they didn't have any talisman at that time. How did he manage to survive? And I think one episode of him as a kid, see what happened to him, what happened to the bodies. because it was a massacre. The only thing, just like I want one episode where we can actually see a bit of what happened to him as a kid.
Yeah, same. I feel like they. I feel like Victor is important for some reason. I feel like Victor is very important to this town and this story as a whole because even the monsters were just like, one episode they were just like, you keep coming down here, Victor. We'll make you stay. I was
Mm.
like, okay. So is it like they're familiar with Victor? They know who Victor is. So it's just really interesting to me. Like, what role does he play with them? Like,
Mm.
you know.
And I did love the strangers actually coming knocking at the police station, say, "Is everything's okay?" Like a big smile on their faces. That was actually funny. But yet again, there's one thing I want to know: who are the voices? Because the voices on they can take the voices of dead people. Who are they? Because I don't
Yeah.
think they are the monsters. They are not the monsters. They are something else. It has to be something else. We heard them season one. We heard them now quite a lot. Who are they? We don't know who they are
And let's
yet.
not put on the back burner here. What is at the village? Remember at the village they kept hearing things on the tents and walking
Uh-huh.
around. What is that?
Exactly.
So yeah, there's definitely a more. I feel like there's one. It's a hierarchy, and I feel like there's one top something, and then everything else kind of trickles down. And maybe the monsters are kind of like at the bottom of the hierarchy, but uh, so far, I- so far, I'm starting to think more and more that everyone that's in that town is supposed to be there for some reason.
I've
No
got
matter
a
if they die or whatever, it's like they're being reincarnated for one purpose, that's to complete something. And because like even what is it? Even Elgin said that he had dreams about this place and dreams about something that needs to be completed. It's like
Mm.
the characters are being reincarnated over and over until this one act is
Mm.
finished.
I feel
So
sorry for Eugene. I really feel sorry for Eugene because I had the feeling that the guys in slept for ages. He was so petrified of actually that woman in kimono. Which I thought that was actually a ghost, but apparently she can touch people now. So interesting. Uh, but I have a
I
feeling he's
mean,
being manipulated, and he's so sad because the character. I feel sorry for him.
what if the ghost lady is Fatima,
No,
but a previous Fatima or another or parallel version of Fatima?
me.
I'm just saying.
I think we're gonna have some answers, a lot of questions at the end of episode 10 next week, Sunday, soon.
Yeah, I mean because we saw Julie go
Yes.
back in time to throw a rope. Uh, so does time travel limit to living beings? I don't know.
Mm.
Mm.
And I mean, if we got duality, we need to actually see the duality is with the people that we saw now and the people in the past. Like you
Mhm,
say, Jade Christopher,
mhm.
uh, Tabitha,
Victor's mom.
or not.
I don't think it's the sister. I do think it's the mom.
Okay, so my theory is that, and it might be the mom, but there is one thing that, if you look at it, there is a contrast between the viewer and the person who wrote the show. And they actually done one thing. The flashback with Jasper, we saw Jasper was talking to Christopher for quite a long time until he discovered that was not the case. That was really the boy in white.
Hmm.
And what we saw, the death of the mom of Victor, we actually saw it from the external view of something next to the tree with a hole in it. What if that's my theory? Might would be wrong, most probably. But what if actually is we actually were seeing it through the point of view of the daughter, who actually ran after her mom, tried to find her mom in the forest. So she saw the mom die. She hid inside the tree and went back into actually real world.
It
Because
could be.
all the stuff we saw, like at the end, everything we saw are situation that could have happened to the daughter, to the daughter as well. Like they're all hugging each other and
Uh-huh.
everything. It's like this. So maybe that's something going on. They actually just kind of trick us there, but actually make us believe that she is the mother reincarnating. It could actually be the daughter coming back. Mm-mm.
Well, well, either or. I don't know. So, but I don't know. I still feel like it's the mom.
It
But
would make sense because she remember all this stuff. She remember the forest. She remember the red
mhm.
stone. She had all these memories. She says she's been there before, and we saw a kid saying that she'd been there as a kid because the flashback we saw is her as a kid actually in actually this place with actually the red stone. So for me,
Yeah.
it could be the daughter.
Well, we didn't talk about the fact that the boy in white is aging. Apparently.
Puberty.
No,
I have a
it was
feeling
like
this.
it was a complete different actor. I was like, okay.
I think that's what's actually funny. Just like, oh, you've changed. Just like, okay.
Yeah, like at least they mention it.
Mm. I know. Let's basically be honest. The kid the kid's gonna actually grow up quite becoming teenager in 2 years time.
Yeah, but what if we were talking about reincarnation? Could Boyd have been the person that's chained to the wall?
It could be that would explain why basically the guys chained to the wall want boy to be safe from the hole.
And it makes me really start thinking about other people. Like, what about the preacher? How do these people? Also, here's another thing: no one has really touched on the fact that all these people are seeing ghosts that are interacting with things.
That
But
really goes. That really goes. Is the
but
preacher a
that's what I'm
ghost?
wondering, because when I said like parallel, that maybe the ghost lady is Fatima in a parallel world. What if there is a cycle that's going on, and like Julie was walking through these cycles? What if like boy getting a phone call from his wife? What if that is what if that actually is his wife, just a different, I guess, wife?
To be honest, I don't think so because we had when they had the the call from the kid in the RV when they were leaving, the kid was laughing, like mocking them.
hmm But what?
So
So when Jim built that tower thing,
Mhm.
did it sound like him talking to himself? I legit
Maybe
don't. Maybe you guys can comment below, but yeah, I really
Mm.
don't remember, because he told Jim to like stop or something, right?
He sounded like the sound. He sounded more like actually Victor's dad, but he could be. I
Ooh,
don't know. I don't actually.
yeah.
I don't trust Victor's dad. I don't trust him.
Victor's dad is acting real sus.
Mm. But there's another thing is like what you mentioned. Uh, we could actually see Boyd actually the priest not being a ghost but just being the conscience of Boyd because he actually the guy has to make choices. The guy's being tested. And if we look at the hero's journey, we actually see pretty much the hero's journey for every character. They arriving, go on adventure, which is what happening right now. And now the stake is the worst that it can be because they're losing what the person for them was bringing them joy.
Mm.
That's what Donna said. So I can't say that Fatima killed Tilly simply because she, for what she represents joy. There's a lot of stuff. I think they're following pretty much the hero's journey, and we are coming to the time where everything is lost. So I'm not really. Oh, Fatima might not make it, or might make it but differently. And what is that hatch? Are we going back to Lost? Do we get someone who actually going to be pressing a button
Okay.
every 2 minutes? Mm.
Oh well, yeah. So Fatima definitely is pregnant now. She's growing.
Or she got an allergy of blood. We
Okay,
don't know.
David. No, she was definitely preggers now. So what is she pregnant with?
A vampire because she's drinking quite a lot of blood. Elgin blood, actually, just like damn.
Are you? Hey, I don't know. They said that place has a way of balancing itself out. What if she's giving birth to one of those monsters? They did unalive Smiley. they're short a
Mm.
monster. I'm just saying. Who knows?
What's like
But
funny?
but you know what I thought was very interesting was the fact that there was a lot of duality in this episode, and the one time we see the kids, the Ankui kids, they're usually in pairs, but this time we only see one.
What? I agree. One see one. And there's another stuff I realized is that on season three, we saw the chief of the monsters once, which is
Mm-hmm.
season episode 2 or episode 1. We haven't seen him since.
Mm.
Smiley, we were seeing Smiley all the time in season 1 and 2. This is weird to me.
Well, we have one more episode to go.
I hate this 10 episode series. It's annoying. We want 22 episodes, please.
Yeah, I know. And for those of you that are saying it's too slow, pay attention, please. Put your phone down.
There's so much things in there.
And I know some of you really do watch it because you'll bring up the fact that there was a logo in a little bitty circle on on a pamphlet in a
Mm,
flashback. And I'm just like, how did they even see that?
I know. And we want to know about the spiders, because the spiders seem important, and we haven't seen the spiders since. So,
Um, well, hopefully they're still. I know they plan for 5 seasons, so
and
hopefully
apparently,
they get
based on
there.
what I've seen, actually they were confirmed for 3 so far, and not for 5. So they're waiting for for
Um,
MGM Plus to tell them yes, he can do season 4. So
and I mean, MGM Plus, you better because what else do you really have? Like, no shade, but I've looked at the lineup.
look what happened with
Really?
Buffy. Look what happened with Buffy with Chucky. Look what happened with Chucky.
Yeah, but still, like, Sci-Fi and USA, where our network channels, they have what is it, Peacock, but like Peacock wasn't really dependent on Chucky. I feel like MGM Plus is definitely dependent on having series like From to survive.
Mm.
And so hopefully uh, you guys keep watching, and I sound like I'm a cast member now. No, hopefully you guys keep watching and we get another season.
And the TikTok of the front people are fucking amazing.
Yes, yes. Go check out their TikTok accounts. Okay,
Well,
well,
I
guess I'll see
guess
you guys next week.
next week indeed. Bye bye.